Nice to see you, Jason. All right, so let's get this going. I titled this video Coffee and Correct Grammar. I haven't done a Coffee and Correct Grammar in a long time. It's a catchy title. Don't really know why I stopped using it, but I'm going to use it in conjunction with the to coincide with this month's public free live stream and a grammar lesson. And so without further ado, I'm going to start with the grammar lesson. And then wherever it goes from there is where it goes. Not planning on being on here long at all, unless I start getting some earth-shattering, crazy intellectual questions about correct sentence structure, communication, parsing, syntax, grammar, which I have my doubts. But here we go. Let's see if I can share my screen without too much trouble. Okay. All right. So, Jason, since you're here, can you see my screen with the flag and the closure on the flag right there? Can you see it? Awesome. I can see this is an old template I used. All right. So since Jason is here, and I think, Jason, I think we may have done a workshop years ago. I feel like we did. In any case, Jason is a longtime viewer, longtime studier. So if he doesn't mind, I'm gonna be speaking to him here, addressing him during this lesson, which you all may benefit from if you so choose. Jason, I'm going to put a word on this screen, and I'm going to ask you to come in the chat and tell me whether the word is tangible contract or non-tangible contract. Okay? Here we go. There's the word. Family. Tangible. That is correct. Jason is 100% correct because family, even though it has the ly at the end, ly is not credentialed as a suffix in the word family. To prove that and to give a continuance of the evidence on that, I will once again share my screen here. See if I can jump over to, there we go. Hopefully you can still hear me and also see my screen. As you can see there, family, N. You see the N next to the name family, that is an indicator, that is a tangibility indicator. Whereas if it said AD, that would be a non-tangibility indicator. Now, that's not the be-all, end-all because you have to add up tangibility markers and non-tangibility markers before you give your judgment and conclusion on whether that word is credentialed as tangible contract or non-tangible contract. So this is a tangibility indicator. So we read on, blah, 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 whatever it means. Yeah, whatever. That's not what we're looking for. What we're looking for is, do we see any negatives, number one, and number two, is ly credentialed as a suffix? It is not. Nowhere is ly separated from this word. Therefore, family is tangible contract, as Jason pointed out. Now I'm going to jump back over to the Word document. Man, I don't like the font of why. I wonder why Word decided to pick this font, and why is it so small? There we go. Okay. So Jason, what would you syntax this word as right here? This word right here. What would you syntax that as? What numerical value or parts of speech value would you give to the word family in this context? Would it be an adverb, verb, adjective, or pronoun? We have the syntax key right here. Conjunction, adverb, verb, adjective, pronoun, positional, loadial, fact, past tense, future tense. But we can say that in this context of what we're looking at here with the word family, you're only going to be using, conceivably in this context, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, or 9. You would not be using any 5, 6s, or 7s because this is not correct sentence structure right here when we're looking at this. There are no positionals, there are no loadials. So, Jason, what syntax value would you give this? What syntax value would you bank on that? Maybe Jason's not here anymore because it should not be taking him this long to syntax the word family. That should be easy peasy for an old timer like him. I'll wait a couple more minutes here for him to pop in the chat and tell me. You know what, though? I think I'm going to pull this up on my phone so I don't have to keep switching back to this screen on my computer while I wait for Jason to give us an answer. Okay, so Jason has given us an answer, and from my experience as a tutor, I'd have to say that Jason's answer is completely and utterly a guess because Jason says that this is a verb. If you look at the syntax key behind me, verb is credentialed as number 2. How can a verb exist by itself, standing by itself? Verbs cannot exist standing by themselves. In a fiction, babble, adverb, verb, adjective, pronoun, fictitious conveyance of grammar context. In order for a verb to exist in the fiction, yes, I know. It was definitely a guess, I can tell. The only way a verb can exist in the fiction is if an adverb is modifying it. There has to be a 1 in front of the 2. Family can never be a verb. Family is tangible contract, and it's standing by itself. So family would be a pronoun because any word that stands by itself, doesn't matter if it's tangible or non-tangible, would be a pronoun. Now, what if you have 2 families in a row? How would you syntax that, Jason? Knowing what you know now that I just gave you the answer, knowing what we know about tangible contract words can never be adverbs. Tangible contract words would only be verbs, adjectives, or pronouns. Why not a noun? Well, Jason, do you see the word noun in your choices up here? I see conjunction, adverb, verb, adjective, pronoun, positional, loadial, fact, past tense, future tense. In the context of correct sentence structure, communication, parsing, syntax, grammar, a noun does not exist. In the domain of fiction, nouns exist, but in the domain of fact, the only thing close to a noun is a pronoun. P-R-O-N-O-U-N. No. So if you're using, and this is a correct sentence structure venue, if you're using correct sentence structure mechanics, you would never, ever credential a word as a noun. It's not in the syntax key, for one thing. Why a pronoun? Because family, well, first of all, to go back, Jason, and this is day one stuff. I'm taking you back to the basic rudimentary beginnings of this. Any word standing by itself, I just said this like 5 minutes ago. Any word standing by itself, all alone, which family is doing right here. Let's get rid of that up there. Matter of fact, let's just do this. I think this may be confusing. This is all we're looking at here. Is this word family on this piece of paper standing by itself in the context of quantum grammar, in the context of correct sentence structure, communication, parsing, syntax, grammar, mechanics, the domain of correct grammar. Any word standing by itself is a pronoun. It doesn't matter if it's family. It doesn't matter if it's the number 2. It's still a pronoun. It doesn't matter if it's the word the. It's a pronoun, because any word standing by itself is a pronoun. Man, if I had a troy ounce of silver for every time I've said that in a video, in over 1,300 videos, I definitely wouldn't be making this video right now. I'd be on the beach somewhere. If I had a troy ounce of silver for every time David-WYNN Miller said any word standing by itself is a pronoun, same thing. Same thing. It's one of the very first lessons we learn in correct sentence structure, communication, parsing, syntax, grammar. Any word standing by itself is a pronoun. So there we go. It's a pronoun. For, according to the syntax key, is a pronoun. Now we have 2 tangible contract words in a row. What does that mean? Now the syntax has changed. How has it changed? Now, I don't expect Jason to know this based upon his first guess. I think Jason probably hasn't done syntaxing in a while. And when you don't really get closure on syntaxing or why things happen the way they happen, then you're just guessing at that point. So in the rules of syntaxing and correct sentence structure, if you have 2 tangible contract words in a row, the first word going from left to right, port side to starboard side, the first word is going to be an adjective, and that's going to be coloring the second word into a pronoun. These are both tangible contract. Remember, pronouns can be either tangible or non-tangible, but adjectives may only be tangible contract, i.e. tangible contract words adjectives may only be tangible contract words. An adjective would never, ever be a non-tangible condition of state. And when we just looked up family in the etymology dictionary, we credentialed it as tangible contract. So that's never going to change. That's our baseline. So what happens now if we add another family in there? Again, it's another adjective. So you can do this forever and ever and ever and ever. And you're just going to have a string of adjectives. And then the last word is going to be a pronoun to finish it off. Because you cannot finish off a syntax sequence with a modifier. Why? Because there's nothing left to modify. Doesn't make logical sense. So we bring this syntax scenario to a close. It's a 3-4 syntax scenario. It's just there's a bunch of threes. And in the rules of quantum grammar and syntaxing, if the word is tangible contract, you can have as many adjectives as there are tangible contract words in a row because they're tangible contract. But if, on the other hand, they are non-tangible contract words, there would only be one of them because they don't exist long enough. They don't have a tangible quality to them. It's non-tangible. They're here and gone. Like an adverb would never modify another adverb because it doesn't exist long enough to do that. It's just a faint, non-tangible concept. So I'm going to get into that right now. So what if I do this? The. Matter of fact, let's just get rid of that. Let's do something different. Let's do, because I've already done a video on the. Let's do, let's see, what word can I use? Brightly. Is brightly tangible contract or non-tangible contract? Now, I think Jason has a pretty solid grasp on what's tangible and non-tangible, so I think that Jason will be able to tell me whether this word is tangible or non-tangible. I will give him a minute to answer. This is really funny. I'm going to have to choose a different word because this is etymology online is making this difficult. So let's say lightly. Let's try that one. There we go. Okay. So what's Jason saying? Jason says, okay, any word standing by itself is a pronoun and non-tangible because of the ly. What? No, if we're talking about family, Jason, the ly doesn't figure into it. It's not. It's not considered. All right. So family is tangible contract, and it's not going to be an adverb. So in this case, let me go to. Okay, brightly. We've moved on to lightly. Let me share my screen here. But you're right. Brightly is non-tangible contract, Jason. You're 100% correct. All right? 100%. But we moved on to lightly for technical reasons. So how about lightly? Is lightly tangible contract or non-tangible contract, Jason? And I'm 100% confident that you're going to get this correct. Lee always fails the tangibility test. Who's Lee? You are correct, Jason, as I knew you would be. Lightly is non-tangible. Why is it non-tangible? Let's find out. As we see here on Etymology Online, Lightly, you see ADV. That is a non-tangibility indicator. So if you have a list for non-tangibility and tangibility, you would put a marker on the non-tangibility side. And then you would go on and count, blah, 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 and add them up at the end, theoretically. So we have light, which in and of itself is tangible. Because we know light versus heavy, all that stuff. But when you add this to it, the suffix ly, which means licho, which we can go through the whole continuance of the evidence. I've done a video on that already, go very specifically into that. It literally means corpse or dead, so it deadens the tangibility of the word. So when you add the suffix ly and it's credentialed like this, that means that whatever word, whether it was tangible or whatever, is going to be non-tangible. We're going to syntax it as non-tangible because of this ly modifier. And the ly is the only modifier that does that. It deadens, literally kills the tangibility of a word. So, now Jason, how would you syntax this word, this non-tangible contract word, lightly? What syntax value would you give to lightly? I'm asking Jason here. Jason, what syntax value would you give the word lightly? I'm asking Jason. All right, so after all we just talked about, bro, and you say adverb, can an adverb stand by itself, Jason? Lightly is standing by itself. There's only one syntax value it can be, and that's a pronoun. It doesn't matter if it's tangible or non-tangible. Any word, any hieroglyph or collection of hieroglyphs grouped together without spaces, i.e. a word, L-I-G-H-T-L-Y, and there's no other words around it, it's going to be a pronoun. Pronoun. Always, always, always. So, what happens now? So lightly was a pronoun. Now I have two lightlies next to each other. Lightly, lightly. Now I would like, let's see, who's in here? Powell's in here. So Powell, I think you may have a little bit more syntax knowledge than Jason. How would you syntax this, these two words here, lightly, lightly, going from port side to starboard side? What would it be? Or anybody. Anybody out there in the chat. I see there. There's actually quite a few people here. Cool. Anybody out there want to guess the syntax values of lightly, lightly? And here's a hint. None of those words are going to be 5s, 6s, or 7s. Can't see anything, just black screen. Sorry about that, Paul. Let me. Oh, wow. I don't know why you don't see anything, because everybody else can see it. So that's very strange that you only see a black screen. You should be seeing a Word document with two words on it, lightly and lightly. So I'm going to go and, oh, you can see it now? Cool. All right, so what's your syntax value? Someone else said a pronoun and a noun. Extraordinary? Absolutely not. If you can see the syntax key behind me, nowhere on the syntax key is the word noun. There's a pronoun, but there's no noun. Noun is not a choice. So we have to keep within the context of what we're doing, i.e. the context of quantum grammar, correct sentence structure, communication, PARSE, syntax grammar. Nouns do not exist. The closest thing to a noun would be a pronoun, and they're not even close. So that is 100% incorrect. Powell says 3-4. That is 100% incorrect. Because, as I've said before ad nauseum, and I said at the beginning of the stream, which, to be fair, Powell might not have been here for that, lightly is non-tangible contract. So any non-tangible contract word that we have credentialed as non-tangible contract, I feel like I should pound my fist on this desk, will never be adjectives. Non-tangible contract words will never be adjectives. Never, 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 never. Never. Non-tangible contract words are either going to be adverbs, verbs, or pronouns. Period. End of story. Adrian Corey says adverb, verb. Ding, 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 ding. 100% correct. Adrian Corey gets the cookie. Chocolate peanut butter cookie with a Reese kiss on top. It's all you, bro. Cheers. You got it. Thank you, Adrian Corey. Now, lightly is non-tangible contract adverb modifying lightly into what? A verb. Adrian Corey. For the bonus round, what else can we say about the verb lightly in this context? We have lightly, the adverb, modifying lightly the verb, but what else can we say about the verb lightly at the end of the sentence here? Anything else you want to add to that? Anything? Anything? Bueller? Bueller? Anybody? Come on, somebody's got to say it. Come on. Brother. Nobody has anything to say about lightly the verb here. No one. Come on. Oh my gosh. Do I have to get my spoon out? I guess I do. What? I have no idea what Powell's trying to say there. So I'll just give the answer away. Lightly is a dangling participle verb. Why is it a dangling participle verb? Because what is a verb? In theory, verb is thinking, motion, so on and so forth. And it's coming at the end of the syntax scenario here. So we have thinking at the end, but there's nothing left to think about. So therefore, it is dangling there. I do the hand gesture for all you folks out there. Take a drink when you see Jason do the hand gesturing. Dangling participle verb, yes. Now, what if there's another lightly? Now we have 3 non-tangible contract words in a row. Anybody want to hazard a guess? We're getting into very technical, deep level, correct sentence structure, syntax stuff here, folks. You won't find this on Russell J. Gould's channel. He probably wouldn't know how to do this. All right, I'm done. Anybody, any guess? Lightly, lightly, lightly. How would you syntax that? As goofy as it sounds, as goofy as it looks, it's fiction. It's the epitome of goofiness. It's sopping wet with goofiness, okay? Lightly, lightly, lightly. Let's syntax it. Remember, let's go back. One lightly, standing by itself, was a pronoun. Then we added another lightly. Now it's adverb, dangling, participle verb. Now we're going to add another lightly. Now what is it? Now what is the syntax scenario? How much time's gone by? I got to look here. Half hour. Okay. I'm going to have to wrap this up, folks. But I'll finish this out. Finish out this little lesson here. Nobody wants to guess. None of the people in the chat want to guess. You folks that are watching this right now, that are enjoying this lesson, I appreciate you being here. I'd appreciate if you click the little like button or the dislike button, whatever you want, thumbs up, thumbs down. I'd appreciate if you subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, it helps the channel. I'd appreciate if you share stuff like this. Get people interested. I know grammar's boring as hell, right? That's why I'm surprised there's so many viewers here right now. Tells me that that some people are actually interested in this stuff. But I do appreciate you being here. But I hope that no one out there who's watching this is afraid to guess. I mean, you might get a little shit from me for guessing. You know, I might pull you up on the carpet a little bit, but it's all in good fun. I'm not here to ridicule anybody or I firmly believe, you know, there are no stupid questions. It just shows where you are knowledge-wise, and everybody's got to start somewhere, right? Okay, Jason says, if you had to rename adverb, verb, pronoun, and noun using different words, what would you call them for the ease of understanding? Jason, why would I do that? Because we already have well-established fiction meanings for those words. Why would I create new ones and then have everybody have to learn those? The mechanic's already there. Sick, sick, sick. We're here for the ease of the communication. We're not here to complicate it. And again, you know, I don't really want to sound like a broken record, Jason, but if you actually sit down, take classes, and learn this grammar, you will see the psychology behind it. You will see the logic behind it. Why we do things the way we do things in this domain. But first, you have to get closure on the grammar, my friend. All right, so Adrian Corey says pronoun, adverb, dangling participle verb. Adrian Corey, we got pronoun lightly, adverb lightly, and then dangling participle verb lightly. Adrian Corey gets another peanut butter chocolate. Well, he can get whatever the fuck kind of cookie he wants because Adrian Corey is on point. Thank you, sir. I mean, I don't want to gender assume here. Don't want to get you mad or nothing, but man, brother, man after my own heart. Adrian Corey has syntax knowledge, folks. Congratulations. I appreciate that. I honor your knowledge level, bro. 100% correct. Pronoun, adverb, dangling participle verb. Now, let's keep the challenge going. But wait, there's more. What about another lightly? Now what is it, Adrian Corey? Now what is it? Now what? Huh? Pull up. Let's go. Come on. Nah, really, if you know how to syntax, this right here is easy. So easy. If you know how to syntax, if it's something you could do anywhere, anytime. This is so easy right here. But if you don't know syntax, then it's going to baffle you. 4134. 100% incorrect. Powell. Again, I say for probably the third or fourth time, lightly is non-tangible contract. It will never in any context be ever, ever, ever an adjective. Non-tangible contract words never, never, never will be adjectives. Never, never, never. It bears repeating, though, because that's how we learn things. A lot of times it's through repetition, hearing it over and over and over and over and over and over again. So no matter how many lightlies I put up on the screen, you will never see the number 3 next to any of them. Is the fourth lightly another adverb like the second? Colon Harry hyphen Charles colon Rookslow in the motherfucking house. What's up, my brother? What's up, my friend? Respect to that man, Harry, out there doing the Lord's work over there, over the pond. One of my best students right there on that side. I'm very grateful and humbled to know awesome people like Harry. Folks, I just wanted to let that out there. I'm all right, Harry. Thank you for asking. You know, living the dream. All right, so Adrian, the challenge is, oh, Powell. Powell with the win right here. Powell with the W. Powell clutching it from the ashes. Adverb, verb, adverb, verb. Yes, sir, my friend. Adverb, verb, adverb dangling. Participle verb, actually. But still, I'll give you that one. I'll definitely give you that one. Very good. Well done. And that's also a joy for me to see, is someone actually learning on the spot, which happens during workshops all the time. All right, we got adverb, verb, adverb, verb. Let's do one more. Let's go even deeper. Now, Harry, I'd appreciate it if you wouldn't say anything, because I know that you know the answer. So please let the other folks have a turn. So we have lightly, 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 lightly. We got 5 lightlies in a row. Anybody have a guess? Powell says 1, 2. And again, that last one's going to be a DPV. Well, damn. What do you think, folks? Does that look correct? Well, all right, folks. Just kind of left this up to see what Powell would do here. Powell has done one of the most amazing things that anyone can do, which tells me that Powell has a genuine 100% true volition to learn this grammar, is that they were able to correct themselves on the spot, which is so awesome. Does anyone see the mistake here? Anyone? In the 1, 2, 4, 1, 2. Powell saw it and he corrected it. His second offering for the syntax scenario is on the money. This one is not correct. Does anybody know why? This is the reason why. There is no syntax scenario of a 2-4. So this is the correct one. 41212. You have the 412, and then you have the 12. Now this would be just like syntaxing something like the lightly of this, the lightly of this brightly. The lightly of this brightly. Same thing. 4, 1, 2, 1, 2 DPV. Same thing. Same syntax scenario. Same thing. These are all non-tangible contract words. So there you go, folks. I'm 45 minutes into it. That was super fun. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Powell, I appreciate you being here, man. Well done. Learning on the spot like that. That's pretty sweet. I'm impressed, dude. I really am. Not too many people have the capacity to do that. Longtime viewer, April, thank you for being here. Longtime viewer, Jason, i.e., where'd he go? I don't know his username. XR4 Jersey, thank you for being here. Adrian Corey, respect to your knowledge, man. I appreciate that. Who else? Extraordinary One, thank you for being here. Harry, of course, my good friend, brother, thank you for being here. Lily Santelli, thank you very much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all your wonderful comments on this channel. I super appreciate you being here and being a loyal viewer of this channel and what you bring to the table. Thank you, Harry, for the £5. Hey, you guys just made me think of something. I'm going to send out 5 gifted subs right now. See who gets them. You know what? I'm going to send out 5 more because I don't see anyone in this chat that got any, which is kind of goofy. Because I probably won't be going live any other time soon. Huh. Okay. Well, I don't have any way to direct these subs when I send them out. YouTube directs them. So, yes, blessing. Thank you, everyone. Blessing to everybody who was here. I hope you learned something from this. This will be in the public section, live stream section playlist. You can go back, look at it. And, hey, yeah, stay safe out there. Que sera, sera.